The race is getting closer, adrenaline is pumping, and New York is pulsating. Zohran Mamdani versus Andrew Cuomo versus Curtis Sliwa. Some are saying that the outcome of this race will decide the future of the Democratic Party, and not without reason. The comparisons only getting louder. Could Zohran Mamdani be the next Obama? It's not every Sunday that the House Minority Leader himself weighs in on a city mayoral race, but this weekend, Hakeem Jeffries dropped a soundbite that set the Democratic Party buzzing. Zohran Mamdani, he said, is not the future of the Democratic Party. That's a sharp jab, because Mamdani isn't just another candidate. He's the 34-year-old Queens lawmaker who shocked New York politics by defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary for mayor, and now seems well on his way to back the position. Party insiders are split. Is he a threat to the establishment or the spark that the Democrats desperately need right now? This isn't the first time that a young outsider rattled the party elders. Remember 2008, a little-known Illinois senator defied the odds, bypassed the machine, and became a movement. Which brings us to the playbook everyone's dusting off again: the Obama effect. To be the next Obama, you need more than melanin and a microphone. You need a movement. Obama bridged divides, race, class, generation with two words: hope and change. He mastered grassroots organizing, small donor fundraising, and a unifying message that felt personal.
There is something happening when men and women in Des Moines and Davenport, in Lebanon and Concord, come out in the snows of January to wait in lines that stretch block after block because they believe in what this country can be. There is something happening. There's something happening when Americans who are young in age and in spirit, who've never participated in politics before, turn out in numbers we have never seen because they know in their hearts that this time must be different.
That's the blueprint, turning politics into a shared belief. The big question: can Mamdani adapt that formula in a post-Trump, hyper-polarized America? He already has a lot of similarities with Obama: an invigorated youth vote, a foreign-sounding name, and even a different skin color. Besides, there's also the Trump factor. Obama and Mamdani have the common experience of being Trump's bogeyman. Years ago, Trump promulgated the conspiracy theory that Obama, a Hawaii native, wasn't born in the United States. Now he's questioning Mamdani's citizenship and labeling him a communist. As one analyst puts it, Mamdani is like a young Obama, very compelling, has a great backstory, real charm, a way with people, and has great social media. And much like Obama, Mamdani has become the target of Islamophobic insults from opponents, some even calling him jihadist and terror sympathizer. Zohran was born in Uganda to Indian parents, moved to the US as a child, and grew up in Queens. His mother is acclaimed filmmaker Mira Nair, his father a professor of African studies, so ideas and activism were the dinner table default. Mamdani entered politics through housing activism, helping New York's taxi drivers and low-income tenants. He won a state assembly seat in 2020, and now he's on the verge of becoming New York City's first Muslim and Indian American mayor. If he wins, he won't just make history, he might rewrite the Democrats' future playbook. Mamdani's campaign appears powered by people, an army of over 50 to 60,000 volunteers engaged in door knocking and phone banking across the city, especially in boroughs that the establishment forgot. No corporate donors, no consultant armies, just crowds and hashtags. He pushed for fare-free buses, taxi debt relief, and public housing expansion. It's small surprise that some see him as Obama's heir, others as Bernie Sanders with better height and better hair. And that's the divide. Obama was a unifier. Mamdani is a disruptor. But then every party needs a disruptor before it can find its next unifier. Even without Obama's endorsement, yes, they spoke on the phone, but Obama stayed neutral. Mamdani's rises sparking national conversations. Politico calls him part of a post-Obama generation, leaders like Abigail Spanberger and Mickey Sherrill who could reshape the democratic future. But Mamdani is by far the boldest of them. But then Hakeem Jeffries walks up and says Mamdani is not the future of the Democratic Party. That's the pushback. Jeffries and the party leadership fear Mamdani's leftward pull could hurt swing districts. Mamdani may be pulling in the crowds in blue New York City, but many Democrats feel that his more progressive stances and polarizing views on Israel may be a deal breaker at the national level. Many Democratic leaders have been reluctant to embrace his campaign. New York Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has not endorsed him yet, nor has Obama. After putting it off for months, Hakeem Jeffries endorsed him just a day before early voting commenced. Why is that? Some Democrats are reportedly concerned about what a Mamdani victory may mean for the party. Others worry that Republicans will scare voters by tying the party to Mamdani's socialist label. Yet younger voters see him as authentic, inclusive, and anti-elitist. Basically, everything the party has been accused of losing. For Mamdani to truly be the next Obama, four things must click. One, a big win. A clear mandate in the New York mayoral race in November 2025. Not a narrow win. Two, deliver. Turn progressive promises into real-world results on housing and transit. Three, broaden the base. Move from progressive to plural. Win over centrists, moderates, and working-class voters. 4. Go national. Use New York City's media spotlight to articulate a democratic renewal story. If he governs well, Mamdani could be the Democrats' 2028 dark horse, or at least the voice that pulls them left without tearing them apart. Obama gave Democrats hope. Mamdani is giving them a mirror. He represents the generation that grew up after hope and change and now wants rent control and climate jobs. So can Zohran Mamdani be the next Obama? Maybe, if he can turn his burrow into a blueprint and his boldness into bridges. You're watching Times Explains. I'm Aditi Prasad. Stay tuned.